So I just want to do a video on why workouts are important. So why do you think they call it working out? Because you're working something out of your body. So this car that I've got is like it's one of them cars that just stands out like a sore thumb. So if you don't know which car it is, Google it. It's a Tesla Model S, plus it's a taxa, plus it's black, and it's just, you know, it looks ridiculously nice. And you're probably thinking, what's this got to do with working out? But you'll see. So in this country, in the UK, for whatever reason, people are just constantly checking everything out. So if something stands out, like if you make a lot of money, if you're, you know, good looking girl, if you've got a nice house, or just something that really stands out, like a Tesla Model S black taxa. And if you're a taxi driver and you have something, or if you're, say, like a joiner and you have a Lamborghini, like, people aren't gonna mind their own business. They're gonna be like shouting stuff through the windows, like, oh, Tesla taxi, or like, you know, whatever. Like, you're only a joiner and you've got a Lamborghini, what are you doing? Like, people will just comment on it. And this is like a very, I don't know if you've seen the Matrix movie, but it's a very telling thing when the Agent Smith, when he's chasing Neo's the unique, you know, say, whatever, taxi or person driving the taxi. The agent is jumping into all the humans and chasing Neo. And that's what's basically happening when, I don't think it's the same in America. You know, people like Tesla Model S taxi is just normal. Maybe not a black one, but it's just like standard like stuff over there. And there's a lot of stuff that is like standard stuff over there that isn't over here. So anyway, the UK has a lot of that, whatever it is, I don't know what to call it, like passive aggressiveness, jealousy, like, I think it's because like people drink all the time, so because of the weather, so they're very like irritably aggressive, like, and they're just, or they're flexing, you know, they're flexing on the friends, like, you know, they jump in this like taxi and like, oh, I've never been in a Tesla before, and like they'll say stuff like that. So again, you're probably thinking, what's that got to do with working out? So basically, a workout is not for big muscles. Yeah, it is for that. It's not for living a life full of energy and, you know, relaxation. Yeah, it's for that, but it's more for all them things, them, you know, emotional damage, like the emotional damage that is inflicted, because it happens to everybody, especially in the UK, because people do it on each other, they flex on each other. So instead of having genuine friends in the UK, what you have is people keeping up with the Joneses. Everybody's trying to copy everybody else, and everybody's trying to say, look how good I am because I got this, or I went to a concert last weekend, or I had my weekend off and you didn't have your weekend off, or, you know, whatever. I think it's just human nature, but for whatever reason, it is very kind of like it's just took on a new kind of level in the UK, where like family and friends will be like actually flexing on each other. And I know I keep using that word, but I don't want to use that word like mean, because or like, you know, just whatever, like they're just not being nice to each other, but the friends and the family, because I don't think it's going to make sense to a lot of people if I, you know, do say that. And to be honest, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's what happens. So the reason that you work out is for all that stuff that happens throughout the day, throughout the week, you can then work that out of your system. So you get all this emotional damage, you even get physical damage. If you've got a sit down job, you know, if you know you come from a bad background. To be honest, I have noticed a bit more in the, you know, upper echelons of society. They don't really have this. They're not mean to each other, or they don't, you know, do whatever. But they have other issues which I don't really know about. I just know that, you know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like for anybody, every part of society has issues. So this is good for everybody, basically. So yeah, that's what you're doing. Like, you know, emotional damage is just as bad, if not worse, as physical damage, because physical damage is, it lasts, it depends on what level of physical damage, because you can die from physical damage, but also you can also die from emotional damage. That's why, you know, people commit suicide. That's why you know, you get people doing stupid things like, you know, hurting other people, because they're so emotionally damaged from what that other person has said over, maybe it's just one time, but sometimes it's like over like years and years and years, and you know, it can take its toll. And even like, say, every single day, you know, you've got to think about it. You're doing 8 hours work a day. This is what I do. I do 6 to 8 hours sleep, I do 8 hours work, and I do an hour and a half to 3 hours of working out every day. If you're sleeping 6 to 8 hours, why can't you do an hour and a half to 3 hours of working out every day? And people say, oh, well, what about your rest periods? Well, you've got 24 hours to rest from the moment you stop your workout. That's a bit of a rest. So yeah, you're working all day, 8 hours. That's going to take a lot of physical and mental energy, damage. It's going to damage you. It's going to damage you mentally and emotionally, and it's going to damage you physically. Now, a lot of people use drugs like alcohol, cigarettes, you know, whatever, class A drugs. But the problem with them things, they get the 100%, they get rid of the emotional damage and the physical stress. But the problem with them things is it takes your energy away. So the next day you'll be so relaxed to the point where you can't even get out of bed, to the point where you have a hangover, and you'll feel like, yeah, I had a good night, and yeah, my hangover's going away. But if you keep doing that, there's only so much you can do that before you start having no energy, or you're just operating in this mess of like physical and emotional stress where like you're forcing yourself to get out of bed. You know, you're forcing yourself to go to work. You don't want to be around these colleagues. So then on the weekend or even on weekdays, you're getting drunk again and you're exhausted all day at work and you're eating bad food and you're just in this downward spiral. Because, and the reason is the emotional and physical stresses of life are only being dealt with things that take away your energy. So, you know, I work out all the time and I don't remember, I get so much, you know, stress throughout the day, throughout the week. I don't remember any of it. I only remember the things that I need to remember. Like, you could bring up something now where somebody was like mean to me like last week, and for most people, or even today, and it doesn't bother me at all. Most people it does bother them, and that's because or maybe it doesn't bother them, but the reason it doesn't bother them is because they're substance abusers. The reason it doesn't bother me is because I worked it out of my system. So there's choices that, you know, you've got to make. Do you wanna? You can still drink, you can still smoke, you can still eat unhealthy, but you're gonna do it at a pace that you want to be doing that. Nobody wants to drink throughout the week. Nobody wants to smoke and vape every day. Nobody wants to drink all weekend. Nobody wants to, you know, eat unhealthy all the time. And once you get your exercise right, all the other things will fall into place. So it's up to you. You can either do it by abusing substances, or you can do it by working out. But you've got to do the right amount of working out. You can't like be doing 45 minutes a day and expecting that to get rid of all your stress. That is nowhere near enough, unless that 45 minutes is ridiculously intense. But nobody wants to do that as well, because that's mentally stressful. So every other day I do an hour and a half cardio. Every other day I do an hour and a half weights and an hour and a half stretching together. And once I do that, I want to eat healthy. I don't want to drink. When I do want to drink, it's calculated. It's not like, oh, I've had a stressful day, I'm just gonna have a drink. I can literally say yes or no to anything when I want to, and I know anybody can do that, but it doesn't annoy me to say no. I don't have that feeling of, you know, oh, I really want to drink, but I'm not going to be able to have a drink because, you know, I can't because I want to be healthy. No, I just go, oh, no, I'm not drinking. Or I say, yeah, I am drinking, and the next day I wake up happy about any of the decisions that I made, and I always never skip my workout, because as soon as I do that, that's when I am not following my passion. That is my passion, and that's another key to this video. Follow your passion, whatever your passion is. But to be honest, I do think most people's passion is exercise, because it's just makes everything better, makes everything easier. You don't have any hatred. Yeah, you still have all the mental and emotional damage from your childhood, or you still have all the mental and emotional damage from that week, but it's there and it's in your brain, and instead of getting angry about it and hating people, you've got that thought there, and you're picking it apart, you're analysing it, and yeah, it doesn't bother you. And if everybody could live like that, they would. And that's why I'm saying, I think personally, yeah, you can, once you got your exercise right, you can play guitar or play football or whatever, but first and foremost, I think for everybody, exercise is their passion. I mean, what other thing is more important for humans than moving your body? It is the key to everything. That and diet, and then you will have the energy to follow your second passion, whatever that may be. But I don't have a second passion. This is my passion, because it just, I don't need anything else. If I have this, everything's covered, all bad things in my life. Now, like, I'm gonna go in, I've not managed to go shopping today, so there's nothing to eat. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can deal with that thought, whereas normally I'd be like procrastinating, and yeah, I might procrastinate all night, but it's not gonna get me down. I'm just gonna go, right, all right, whatever, and it's gonna be in the back of my mind. We're gonna get some, I'm gonna get a takeaway, and like I say, even if I procrastinate all night, it doesn't matter, because tomorrow I'm gonna work it out again. Peace.